What's going on, everyone? This is Real Deal Sports. We are back with another show. How's everyone doing? We got Big Walt over there, Brother John over there. How are you gentlemen doing?
I'm real good. I'm real good. How are you?
Good, man.
Busy
Good.
day, busy
Good. No
day.
complaints.
Always on the
Yeah,
move.
yeah. I heard you had a little run in on the way home. You get out with a warning.
I told you about the running.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
get out
mean,
with a warning.
hey, unscathed, no problems over here.
That's what it's
But
all about.
speaking of problems, we do got a problem with Laker legend Jerry West has threatened to take HBO's winning time all the way to the Supreme Court for defamation of character. Now, it's crazy because it's a show, but also I feel his pain because if someone was showing a negative version of me, 9 times out of 10 people would believe it. Oh, this might be how he really acted. This might be how Walt really acted. If we show Walt as
You
a
still getting paid?
Jerry wasn't getting paid for that.
Oh, he not? I thought he was.
No,
Which is interesting because they are using his likeness. So
I
you
mean
know,
he should. I mean he should at least
it's
get
not like
paid.
they're being like, oh, Jerry East, and you know what I
Yeah,
mean, and like they're literally saying like this is Jerry West, like the player, whatever, and they're
yeah.
saying that it's based on fiction, or not fiction. They're saying it's based on facts, but they're saying this is not a documentary. They're saying this is just like a TV show. But I mean, they're clearly pitching it like it's real. So
True. Yeah.
Let
What,
it
what
go, Wes. I mean, it's just a TV show, man. I mean, I get that, you feel like that they trying to shame your name, but I mean, bro, at the end of the day, you are the logo for a reason. We know what you did. We know exactly how you are. Everybody that's close to you know how you act. So, I mean, I get why at the end of the day you're upset, but bro, you're the logo for a reason, man. Just let it go.
yeah,
and
but
he's got the money,
they're
do like
making him look
magic.
like an angry drunk.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I
You
get it.
know,
I mean,
so I'd be like,
I'm watching the show. I mean, I watched the show, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, if you know who Jerry West is, if you know your history, you already know how Jerry West acts. So I mean,
but
just
also,
you shouldn't let a TV show persuade you to think that's how he is. That's what I'm saying.
but you also probably have people like us that were not born during those times that be like, damn, Jerry West was on the
I
chain.
did we did our homework though. That's what I'm
We
saying. You got to do
yes,
your homework.
we did, but everyone is
You
not.
got to if you're a sports fan, you got to do your homework regardless.
And I mean, everyone's not doing it. Some people gonna look at it and be like, "Hey, Jerry West is off the chain," because I've talked to some Laker fans that was growing up during that time, and they say it's pretty accurate. When Jerry was first starting out. So maybe the show might be hitting a nerve or two
I
that he
think
ain't trying to relive.
if I'm Jerry, right? Like, because here's the thing, right? You go to work and let's say you're the manager at your work or whatever, and you think all the employees love you and you're the cool manager, all that stuff, and then one day you find out like behind your back, you know what I mean? Like you ain't getting invited to the parties, you ain't the cool guy, you know what I mean? Like all that, and like if you can't deal with it, then it could mess you up, right? And that's what we're seeing right now with Jerry, right? Is he thought everyone always loved him, but like when HBO puts these things out, this is stuff that they collected from people who actually said about him. This isn't like them making this up. Now, these people could have lied to HBO, but I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying this is what people are saying about him. So if I'm Jerry, I'm actually asking more like, who's saying these things about me? Like, what, do y'all still view me this way? Like, whatever. But you got listen, you got money, man. Go do like magic and put out your own documentary. You know what I mean? You
I
want
was just about to say, bro, he has way too much money to even be thinking or caring about this, man. Like, I mean, I get that you got he's a people person, I guess, you know what I'm saying? But bro,
right?
let it go. It's just
Yeah,
a documentary.
not everyone's Dennis Rodman. We're like when you
At
see
least you
the
at
faults
least you're not being shamed like Westbrook. You feel me? I probably shouldn't say that, but I mean,
when when you hear about like when we watch the documentary and see Westbrook and stuff, or Rodman, like, and we see all his faults and failures and all this stuff, like it endeared people to him. Like, oh man, this is the guy. You know what I mean? Like whatever. Some people they build they built their life a different way. So when that stuff comes up, it's only bad. You know what I mean? Because they've tried to look so good for so long that like anything that bad comes in, they try to like squish it. And this is TV shows though, man. All their TV shows and movies are going this way. Like they want your hero to show a little flaw. Like Iron Man is over there, dealing with some PTSD or whatever. I mean, going through some stuff. Like he's not just out there whooping ass. Like he's actually dealing with his own issues. So it's a TV show. I'm not surprised they went this route.
Yeah.
And that's what I say. That's another thing. It's just entertainment, man. I mean, Jerry West should know that. I mean, you've been in Hollywood for how long? So
yeah,
it's just entertainment.
Yeah, but I think it's easy for us to say because we ain't the ones being depicted as a irresponsible drunk.
Bro, if I'm sitting there, if I'm Jerry West right now, I'm sure he's chilling in the mansion, sipping on some scotch with a.
And he's also taking it to some Supreme Court.
I'm just saying, like, bro, I just feel like he's too deep into this.
How funny would it be if he showed up to wherever he said this bit about taking him to Supreme Court with like a bottle and was like, y'all be slamming me now. This will be just like.
But no, I wasn't trying to say it like he's a drunk, though. I'm just saying, well, he's probably at home, relaxing. Like, why? It just feel like I just feel like Jerry's just doing too much with this. Honestly, man, I think he's thinking too deep.
I wonder if this is like the first show or documentary made about him. You know what I mean? Like maybe he wanted one nice one first, and then this one.
It's the only one that I know of.
Right, so maybe that's why, right? Your legacy, right? You don't want the only show you ever go down.
We already know his legacy, though. That's what I'm saying.
We know.
He's the logo for a reason.
But this thing, sports fans know his legacy, but the TV people, like the people who just sit around and watch Netflix and stuff, if they turn this on, they might think something differently. I think that's where he's coming.
And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with Walt. You gotta be tougher. And at the same time, like, HBO, maybe they did go hard.
Jerry said, I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. We taking this to court. But
Supreme Court.
Since we're talking about Lakers catching feelings, Russell Westbrook has also caught feelings as he scrubs his whole Instagram of Laker any and everything. Now, like we talked about the other day with Kyler Murray and other players. I think, it's a new age thing. I don't know what it is about scrubbing. I guess, that's your way of saying, hey, I want out or I'm breaking up. I don't know. But, I can feel his pain, This is the first time he's been so heavily scrutinized for everything. Like every play, every turnover, missed shot. He was scrutinized to the umpteenth this year. And I think he was feeling some type of way. You seen him in press conferences talking about, hey, my kids and my wife can't even come to the game because they talking about it. When have we ever heard an NBA player talk like that? So maybe LA wasn't the best place for him. Maybe, that glitz and glamour and that attention wasn't what he needed or what he thought he needed. That's my opinion. What you got on it, Walt?
Honestly, I ain't got too much to say. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm like the Lakers right now. They probably giving them a round of applause. Like, thank you. Like, that's fine with me. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? It was a nice year. We tried it. You know what I'm saying? It didn't work out. Hey, deuces. You feel me? Hey, it was an experience and it didn't work out. So, but I mean, I'm sure like the Lakers are, they're probably sitting there like, hey, we appreciate you trying. This didn't really work out. So, hey, we'll try to move you if possible. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a free agent next year, if I'm not mistaken. Or so he's a free agent next year. So
I think he's still under contract.
You got one more year? Okay.
Yeah, because
it's so hard to trade right now because he's got that $40 million or something.
Yeah, just at the end of the day, like I said, it's just pretty much experience gone wrong. So I mean, it's. I honestly, I ain't got too much to say about what Mr. Westbrook. Honestly, so go ahead, John.
I wonder if he thought it was going to be like a homecoming or something. You know what I mean? Like everyone's going to love him.
He thought it was going to be like when Derrick Rose was with the Bulls.
Yeah, but when we
Win
say that
MVP.
every turnover and every missed shot was criticized umpteen time, that's because there was umpteen turnovers and umpteen missed shots. Like right, and so it was gonna get exposed this year just because how many there was. Like it was, it wasn't like he had an off year. This guy had a terrible, efficiency year. Uh,
You must be
so
watching the game.
yeah. Now this game going crazy, man. We got two
It
good series
definitely
here
is.
with this one and
Hey,
the
for
Memphis. So
anybody watching, we're all watching the Dallas and Utah series. Just saying, hey, we
who
sports
isn't?
fans.
They know they're
We don't
watching
just
too,
talk
man.
about it. We watch it too. But
Yeah.
go ahead, John. But yes, you're right, John. But
So yeah,
also,
I wonder if he just thought it was going to be a homecoming, but at the same time, like, okay, so we've been talking about this, the younger guys doing this, right, scrubbing it and stuff. But of all the older guys, we're talking about this guy's 33 now. I think the most closest one to
Russ
him is like,
33.
yeah, the closest one to him that's done it is like 24, 25. So like the fact that of all the older guys doing it, are you guys surprised that he's the one that did it? That's what I'm thinking.
Not really.
No,
No,
I'm not.
right? Like he's always kind of had a. I mean, let's be honest. He plays younger than most people too. I mean, he plays at 100% all the time, like he's still 25. But he just
Yeah,
he still
that that,
dresses like
that
he still
endurance is
dresses
crazy.
like Ben Simmons. He's not dressing like LeBron or Wade or I think he's just young at heart, young in mind, and I think he's still because of that. Yeah, I'm not surprised that he's the one that did this.
I'm on that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but like I think you're in the glitz and glamour. You're in one, the second media capital of the world. Playing for the purple and gold. It's
But at
it,
the same
it
time,
is. It is with the territory.
Buddy Hield followed LeBron on Instagram this week too. So
I guess it's
we'll
social.
see.
Hey,
Social media is the way to go, man. If you want to join the team, man, you
we shall see.
start following them on
It's happening
social media.
again.
We shall see. But let's talk about Vince Wilfork. His son has been convicted for stealing his father's college and NFL memorabilia. John was going to tell us more about it. John, give us
Please
the
take me in.
backstory.
I'll say so. Yeah, we're not going to go in depth about this. I don't want to beat the man while he's down.
Yeah.
We hope. We pray for him to get the help. We pray for a lot of people to get the help. Listen, I actually, speaking of that, it's been 70 days since Brittany Griner's been in prison. It's been 70 days since Brittany Griner's been arrested. So I just want y'all to know too, like she's still in our prayers. And yeah, I know y'all watched that game. And, but we want people to know, like we haven't forgotten about her either, too. But
True.
yeah, man, like
Yeah,
so
she definitely don't get a lot of recognition either, man.
yeah, he stole his dad's 2 Super Bowl rings, his 2 AFC Championship rings, his college ring, and a bunch of other jewelry and stuff. And his dad thought that like it had gone missing. He hired someone to like whatever, and then eventually it turned out his son had done it. So now his son's on 5 years probation. But I actually had a question for you guys. What other big trophies or memorabilia in history, like from sports, have you guys heard about that like was just crazy? Like, you know what I mean? Because this one's not that crazy. This one's just like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? He probably saw him laying around the house and took them but like there's been some crazy ones out there.
I think the craziest one was probably the Brady Super Bowl jersey being stolen the hours after the Super Bowl happened. Like, bruh, do you
Yeah.
know how bold you have to be?
And
That's
then
like stealing
his next
Game
one got
7
stolen too.
jersey when the Cleveland Cavaliers won the championship. That's like stealing LeBron's Game 7 jersey. You a bold individual.
Like 3 Super Bowls there, like 2 of Brady's jerseys, and then also Von Miller's helmet. All 3 of them turned up in Mexico too. Like I don't know where. Yeah. So
It was so crazy. They had a show when they beat. Was it Atlanta? Yeah, when they beat Atlanta, dude, they had a whole hour show about the jersey being stolen. I was like, this is crazy. And like the dude, he did it so low key. He came in like he was media, took a picture. He put that boy in his little
he
book
got in the
bag.
locker room somehow. Like
I was like, that is crazy.
Yeah, I'm about to say I ain't got no stories like y'all. The only one I can think of right now is I don't even know if this really count. Is just the one one of the Ball brothers stole from China a necklace or something like that.
That was crazy. Yeah.
Uh,
And
I, I,
then he was in some trouble. He was in some
I just don't understand why he felt like he had to do that. But that's probably mine that
Bro,
I can remember.
that's scary, man, bro. Like, I'm and not because China, just any other country, bro. I'd be afraid to steal in freaking Canada or Mexico. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anywhere like where my family couldn't just come see me. Like, I'd be like, dude, I ain't touching nothing here that ain't mine.
That's weird.
No, I was. For me, it's the Stanley Cup, man. It's just too funny because the first time it was stolen, they went to a photographer's house, and the team who won it, they went to a photographer's house, took pictures, and then like his mom took it and like waited. And apparently, from what I've heard is she waited for like them to like buy it back, and they just never. They just said like, nah, go ahead, like whatever. But they didn't know who took it.
Or playing backfire.
Yeah, so eventually, like they were, yeah. So eventually, she was just like, she's gave it back or whatever. But for her,
He was like,
but
"Hey,
this,
you can buy it back." They're like, "No, that's the replica. We good."
but another time, someone stole it, and they were looking for it, and a gang stole, like a freaking like a group of people broke in, stole it, like from some locked whatever, and turns out they found out that they just want a replica that they take out on the ice to show that's not the real one. So they ended up leaving it on the cop who was investigating. They ended up leaving it in his driveway and whatever. And so no one was ever arrested in either case. And both times it just got returned. But the second one was a replica, but it still got returned. But yeah, they were just like, "Nah, we're not buying it back. You stole the replica, like whatever." But so yeah,
You blew it. Oh, you had a clean look. You blew it. Oh wow, you butt. I'm sorry.
Wow. He's
Oh, that's tough. That's a tough loss right there.
he,
I ain't
he
gonna
gonna
lie.
he gonna cry in the locker room.
You gonna definitely cry.
But let's switch subjects, guys, to a very important topic. Ben Simmons continues to be criticized after sitting the entire season. Um, I'm just listening to the stuff Ben Simmons has been telling like the front office and everything like that. It really seems like he's going through some PTSD, and it's like the your mind's playing tricks on you. So and I really can't scrutinize him because we've never been there. I don't think nobody can say, "Oh, I've been where Ben has been," and he needs to suck it up. It's like the way Philly turned on him after that Atlanta series, and Doc and Embiid turned on him. It's tough. It's tough to blast him because I've never been in that position, so I can't say, "Oh, Ben, you just gotta suck that shit up. You'll be all right." Because we've never been in that situation. So I'm feeling for him. Hopefully, he can get some therapy to help him fight those demons. But what's your take on it? Let's start with you, John.
so to your point though, he's not the first player to get called out in the media. I know he's young and all. Getting called out by a coach is a little tough, but like coaches do that from time to time. They typically just call out the team sometimes. Sometimes the coach will just be like, "Nah, I was great, and my team was bad." You know what I mean? But I mean, shoot, we had Bruce Arians just call out Brady. I mean, he's known for calling out his players publicly, but there have been multiple coaches, so he's not the first. So should a coach call out a player in the media? I don't see how that's good for the team. But that being said, like this guy has, I think he's getting a lot of criticism for not coming back in game 4, but I don't know enough about it. I'm going to take his word for it that his back was hurt, but I want to know why he's not being criticized for coming back in the first 3 games. Like, why didn't you play the first 3 games? You were fine in them ones. So, like, other than the fact that you just didn't want to for, like, I know he can say mental health all day, and that's fine. And I agree, you got to take some time off. But like, no one out there, none of us get to just take a stinking year off because we're not feeling it. You know what I mean? And then show up and sit there dressed in purple and orange and whatever, whatever, just dressed like, like not even don't he look like he's part of the team. I appreciate that he's sitting there, he come to the games, but I mean, I think he has to anyway. So I don't even know if he has an option there. But it's just, I'm okay with the criticism. Like, I don't now depends. I guess I'd have to hear each individual criticism to know, like if that's fair or not. But like, I think he deserves a good bit of his criticism just because, like, at some point, man, like you're doing something that no one else in the world gets to do, and you're saying, my
his teammate
coach said
does.
something mean to me. Like, all of us heard some mean stuff in our lives from managers and coaches and whatever. So we didn't get to take the next year off paid. It's just, I don't know.
Well, he get it from his teammate Kyrie, but that's story for another day. Go ahead. What you got, bro?
Shots. But
Hey, Kyrie, come on the show. We want.
I mean, honestly, I am kind of like a big fan, and like I'm kind of like playing both sides on this, honestly, just because like mental health. Mental health is definitely is a big thing, though. Honestly, now, granted, like John said, they get paid to, do what we would love to do. You know what I'm saying? Play sports. You feel me? But at the end of the day, they do have to go through a lot of scrutiny. A lot of BS with criticism coming from, not just the media. You know what I'm saying? Inside the locker room, blase skip, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, just going back to what John said, well, why he didn't play games 1 through 3. I honestly feel like Dan wasn't even ready the whole time, though. I feel like the Nets were just the one that was trying to get him to say like, "Hey, he's ready," because they were just desperate. I mean, if you looked at it, they looked desperate. They needed any type of help.
On defense, they needed help. Yeah,
shit, on offense too.
They lost the whole series by 18 points. They lost 4 games by 18, like a total of 18 points. So they're
the best player in the world went over 10 in game 3 though, or game 2, regardless. I'm just saying, like it was a terrible it was a terrible shooting for somebody of his caliber, in my opinion.
Oh no, KD definitely had bad games, but I don't think Simmons was going to fix the offense, but he could have fixed the defense, I think.
He maybe, but I don't know. I just felt like until Simmons is able to get this mental block out of his head of with the free throws and the media, it's gonna be tough for him to come back, and it's gonna be, I don't know. I'm not saying that we might have seen the last of Ben Simmons, but he, like you said, he got to get rid of those demons, and I really don't know. I just can't say, like Nico said, you can't really be in somebody's shoes unless you actually there. But at the end of the day, I mean, bro, you kind of did just finesse the whole NBA by getting paid and sat out like a whole 2 years for real. That's just real. So
yeah, he sat out his whole freshman year too. His first year in the league, he sat out the whole year. Came back and won Rookie of the Year. I think he still has a ton of potential, but obviously, I mean, just physically. But we talked about this with the whole Will Smith thing, right? It's like, talking about his wife. Like, you can't say I don't want to be criticized, but then keep putting yourself in public eye. Like, you want to date a Kardashian, but you don't want to be in the public eye. You know what I mean? You want to do all these things. Like, you are putting yourself out there more than necessary if that's the case. Like, if you can't handle these things, which, by the way, I don't watch that show, but those ladies can handle all the criticism. They've heard whatever any NBA player has heard, those ladies have heard 20 times worse, and somehow they're still doing that show. So kudos to them, but whatever. But like,
entertainment, I guess, man. I still don't see how that show is still on this day. Man.
I agree, but they got tough skin, so I'll give them
20 season.
I'll give them that. They got tough skin. But yeah, so I mean, you keep asking for this attention, but only want the good attention, and it's like that's not a real world. You don't live in the real world if you only want good attention, but you want all the attention. Like, and so it's never going to happen for him if that's the case. But there's something about going to work and having, like, I agree, you got to take some time off. If an extended period of time, take an extended period of time. But at some point, having a schedule and going to work is good for you. It's good for you. You know, having a purpose, and so like it's good for your mental health. So I'm a little surprised he didn't just try to get back a little bit, you know, in that sense, just to get back into a rhythm of something. So you know, maybe for him, maybe he doesn't want to play basketball. I don't know.
Yeah, very true.
Get
But
well, Ben. Get well, sir.
yeah, hopefully he, like I said, get them demons under control, you know, so he can play. Because I mean,
Or just go live his best life, whatever that is. But like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, don't make it harder on yourself.
right, make a decision and stick with it. Yeah, very true. But speaking of decisions, the Yankee fans decided to throw beer and trash on Cleveland Guardian players after the Yankees pull off comeback.
Disrespectful.
I'm gonna just say it's trash. It's trashy, pun intended. Like, who do you think you are?
Yep.
You gonna throw garbage and beer at these grown men because you upset or you overly excited? Hell no. Now, if this was the Malice in the Palace, but with baseball players, then somebody would be upset. But this is why I'm saying you can't just be doing and saying anything to these guys because if I want to come in the stands, no one's gonna stop me. That's why I say you gotta watch what you do and say to these professional athletes because if they slap you or you get cracked in the head with a bat because you want to throw beer bottles, it's in their right. They're defending themselves. Self defense.
Yeah, and that's what made it so trashy was that like it was between like two players and like two fans, and then as soon as the fans like saw one fan turn trashy, all the fans around him just turned trashy and started throwing stuff, and it was like so then like yeah then like it's like oh okay so it's not just one of y'all like a lot of y'all Yankees fans are just garbage like okay I see
Yeah.
how it is.
Now, if the
Yeah,
pitchers started
so
throwing
Quan,
fastballs at people's heads, they would have been upset.
for
But
people who don't know, like people don't know, like Quan got hurt. Quan is on Cleveland Guardians, and
This player.
yeah, some of the fans, Yankee fans, were cheering that he had gotten hurt and saying some stuff. So Straw goes up in, not he didn't go up into the stands, but he climbed the fence and yelled at him or said something to him like to the effect of, you know, hey man, you shouldn't celebrate someone getting hurt. You know, trying to defend his teammate. And then on the next at bat or so, Yankees pretty much pulled off the comeback and won the game. And so the game being over, Cleveland fans decided to throw their trash on these
New York,
outfielders.
New York fans.
Yeah, it's great that they're all on video. I love it. I hope
Yeah, and they
you
all
know what I
should
mean?
be
Yeah,
never able to come back again.
I was just about to say, I'm curious of what the MLB is going to do about that. If it's going to be, banning the fans or whatever, or however how they want to handle situation. But it's pretty
Yeah,
much a typical just Yankees
they
fan
hit an umpire.
as hell for real, honestly. But
They
yeah,
hit
it's
an
just
umpire with a water bottle, right? If a player were to hit an umpire, you know what I mean, he'd be out for multiple games, probably. So there's got to be some sort of yeah, there has to be some sort of repercussion for this for the fans. But yeah, I'm glad it's all on video.
yeah, there's something definitely needs to be done. Like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, the Yankees, we lost the battle, but they won the war. I should say, they was throwing the trash and stuff at us, but they at the end of the day they won the game, and that's honestly that's all that matters. And so, but
Yeah, in baseball though, there's so many stinking games. You get them on the next one.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But
Yeah, but I got a bone to pick with Walt because you might have you a smart man. You predicted that the Philly and Toronto series was a better series. Um, Toronto made it a series. The last two of the last three games. They lost by 90 tonight. But, you know, 4 and 5, hey, they did their thing. So, hey, I gotta give you your flowers, my brother.
I
Because
feel like you're being a smart ass right now, but I'll take it.
no, I'm serious because I was looking at it, I'm like, Walt might have been on to something, and they were down 3-0. I'm like, Because boy, if they would have won tonight, you talk about pressure. Doc Rivers would have lost sleep tonight, tomorrow,
They was talking about that
and
too.
started.
They was
He would have
talking.
lost sleep, like bruh. But the thing is, the series me and John picked. Brooklyn, they was in the game, they just couldn't close the deal, and they got swept. Because they should have won
But
game one.
how could you say that's a series and they got swept though? Like
But that's what I'm saying. That's
No,
why
we're agreeing with you that arguably, I'm not gonna say your series better, but I'll say your series was arguably better.
his series is better than what the one we thought. The one
No,
we
because-
chose and the one he chose.
Wait, but back to what I said earlier. They lost by a combined total of 18
But they got
points.
swept.
but they
No.
They
I'm
got
saying
swept.
like every game was a good game. Every game came down to a buzzer beater, a game winner, a free throws at the end. Like this
The
game
difference-
isn't. They lost by that much they lost by twice that much tonight.
But Toronto won 2 games though, at least.
No, I agree. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's arguably a better series, but I'm not gonna say it's just demonstratively a better series. I mean, one game was decided by 18 points. This game tonight was decided by 30. The one game was decided by 35. Come on, man. Come on.
We can't do nothing.
Hey, I'm just glad that they got it. They shut. I'm just glad that they closed the series out tonight. They got a tough matchup next series. I think they play Boston, right? If I'm not
Miami.
mistaken. Oh, Miami. So yeah, that's gonna be a tough one, especially with Embiid not being healthy. So, I mean, they got past the first round, but I don't see Philly getting past the second round, honestly.
Hey, let's all take one team from that lost in the first round and talk about. Everyone pick a different team. Talk about a team and what they can do differently to get back to get back next year. Like,
no, you talking about everybody pick a different team. What about
we all do the same team, But I'm just saying, like, pick a team and like, what can they do to get better next year, be back next year, and be more competitive?
We're gonna start with you, Walt. Go ahead.
Oh man, I got so much pressure. Okay,
You feel like Doc Rivers? That boy got that Doc Rivers pressure. Boy.
I'm assuming Nico wants the Bulls, so I'm gonna leave the Bulls alone.
No. Pick who you want to pick.
I mean, honestly, I was gonna pick the Bulls though, but
no, pick them. I got another team.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Bulls though. I feel like the Bulls weren't really missing. I mean, I just felt like the injury bug really kind of caught up with them, and then like Nico was saying, like they were too small. Like I said, Valanciunas. Vucevic, I think that's his name.
Oh, yeah.
He was like the only tallest player, honestly, on Chicago. So I just feel like maybe Chicago just need to maybe get a little bit of height, get a little bit more athleticism. Hopefully they don't catch the injury bug, and because like I said, Caruso got hurt this year. Cody White got hurt this year.
Levine set out last night.
Levine was hurt with a knee issue. So I mean, honestly, if you get past the injury bug, I feel like the Bulls could have made somewhat of a run. But I mean, honestly, I feel like they just missing maybe another key superstar. And if they can find somebody in the free agency this offseason, they could definitely do something next year for sure.
True. Go ahead, John.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna skip Denver and Brooklyn just because I think if they had Joe Harris or Jamal Murray, they're completely different teams. So I think injuries held them back. Utah, man. So this now that they're out, this team is talking about being on the verge of being broken up. I mean, they're talking about breaking this team up and maybe being a different look next year. For me, like. They need a more explosive wing, right? Bogdanovich is special, man. He's a great player. He can defend, he can shoot, whatever. But you need a guy who can another guy who can, attack the basket. Man, they have Conley, but Conley has not been what he used to be, man. And it's too bad because I love Conley. He was like a little bit like a John Wall. He could do a little bit of everything. Defend, he could shoot the three, he could attack, whatever. He did
talk about back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm like,
right. No, yeah, it's two guys,
like what?
two guys who both, you know what I mean, like never lived up to their full potential. You know what I mean? Like we never got to see
Hey, you ain't never lied about that. Never.
So but So maybe they go out and get a Bradley Beal or something. Like go out and get somebody, explosive on the wing, right? Someone who's a 3-point threat, but also
That
can
would be
put the
nice.
ball on the floor, attack the basket, and I did think that leaving Gobert on the floor and having him guard, um, who was guarding Luca, having him guard Luca so many times was like, why is this mismatch happening? So I did think there were some coaching issues that were going on with Utah, but I think if they're not going to break up the team, if they really truly want to win and run it back, then I think they need to go get themselves a wing player who can, a dual threat.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually go with the team in the West, but they're young, and that's the Pelicans. I think they got off to that rough start, starting the season like 1-12 or something crazy like that. But they did enough to get into the playoffs, and they did well, man. I mean, I think their only problem is they're young. They're young. What?
I was just thinking. I was also gonna say, Rudy Gobert also needs to get rid of his bee farm. I was gonna put that out there.
Get rid of his.
This dude showed up to the game today with a big old swollen nose because he got stung by a bee today because he just got stung on his bee farm. I was also gonna say that too.
Why do you
Yeah,
have a bee farm? Never
he's
knew.
in Utah, man. It's
When you got money,
it's
you can buy stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's Utah, man.
Mike
There's a
Tyson
lot
got
of
a
views.
pigeon coop. So.
But
type
yeah,
of
man showed up to the game today with a swollen face. So I assume that didn't help. Maybe with his peripheral or being able to see, whatever. Listen, man.
Well, you got shots, don't you?
Go
I'm
get
just saying, man. Like get rid of the beef farm, or else hey, you know what? I'm just saying, put the helmet on game day. Put the helmet on so you ain't getting stung. That's all
Well,
I'm
put the
saying.
helmet on when you go to
Hey,
the beef
I just
farm.
about to say, ain't he supposed to have like a suit or something? He's supposed to go into when you got a bee farm.
But
But I mean,
sometime with them dudes, they be
this
go in here. Like
this
no,
team was like second best in like 3-pointers made all season, and then got outshot. Like I think Dallas made like 15 threes a game, while they were only making 8 a game. And then we used to think of Utah as a defensive team, but like Jalen Brunson, they allowed themselves to lose this series. I mean, Jalen
yeah.
Brunson had 3 30-point games in his career. The dude averaged 32 for the first 3 games
I
with
knew
Dark.
he would have that green light though. When Luka got down, I'm like, Jalen got the light. The
True,
light,
but still,
green, green, green.
they should have held him to 22, 25, not 32 points a game.
Hey,
So they allowed themselves
but
to get beat in this
are they
series.
really a defensive team like that?
I mean, they have the 3 or 4-time defensive player of the year,
Yeah,
and
but he
Donovan ain't a bad defender, but Donovich somewhat a defender, so
true.
they're not bad. But yeah, I mean, they couldn't guard Jalen this series.
Yeah, but yeah, man, with my Pelicans, not my Pelicans, but my team, the Pelicans. They're just young. I'm excited to see what they look like next year. If they can keep that team, if they can keep that team and keep those rookies and everybody, do what they do, I don't see why they can't be dangerous. And then you add a person like Zion, hopefully he figures out, whatever he got to figure out, and they should be a problem next year. I think if they can stay healthy, they can be what Memphis is this year. I think that can be New Orleans.
That's a big.
I think they're missing a defensive component that Memphis has, but I think offensively, I think yeah, they're competitively just right
They
there.
Memphis got a defensive component.
Yeah, they can
The
defend.
whole team play defense for real, somewhere.
Have y'all been watching this series?
And
Yeah,
yeah, I'll give you that. I give you
Oh,
that. They I give you that.
before
But,
the series.
but I mean that Carl Anthony Towns had like 2 games where he scored like 10 points.
Patrick Beverly done had like 23 times.
I agree. They give up. That's the thing is they give up a lot to like random players and do well against the
I'm
stars.
like, when did Pat start hitting threes? But all right, I'll see you, Pat.
Yeah, he's been having himself a nice little series.
Yeah, he been hitting them with the too little. But
Please.
Walt, take us out.
All right. Oh, I thought I was just leaving. I didn't know we was ending the show early.
Hey,
apologize.
take us out.
Oh, but this is your boy Big What. I apologize. They caught me off guard. My bad, people.
How
Your
you
boy.
get off guard? We done.
Because I thought I was just leaving. I didn't know y'all was ending the show. But that's my boy Suave. Always catching me off guard, apparently. About as smooth as the other side of the pillow. My boy John, same year. Coldest white boy I know. Hey, we love y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe, comment. I think we still got like
33 subscribers.
Yeah, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep on commenting. We're gonna make sure we get back to y'all, and we love y'all. And hey, we're gonna catch y'all either tomorrow.
Subscribe. Make sure you getting, hit that bell or whatever it is to make sure you seeing all these videos.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Real Deal Sports. We out, y'all. Love y'all.
Appreciate y'all.